wa Bomas. Kumbuka tuna maeneo bunge 290 na ukiongeza eneo lingine moja ambalo ni la wale ambao walipiga kura kutoka ugaibuni, yani diaspora voters, ni kumaanisha kwamba zile form 34 bar ambazo zitakuwa zinawasilishwa hapa katika ukumbi wa Bomas ni 290, yani 291, 290 kutoka maeneo ya bunge na lile la diaspora. Tumsikilize Profesa Yakub Gulie anayosema.
Observers and agents will watch. If they have any issues, they will record for their own use. It is not going to be an interrogation center for returning officers. Our officers must be respected, and all the desks must enforce that arrangement. We are not here to interrogate returning officers. So as you do your work, ensure that the returning officers are respected. Now, at any one time,
kuuliza maswali ama wanasema kuwa interrogate wale ambao ni wasimamizi wa uchaguzi.
Osman, can you raise at the hand at the middle there? Hali Mutisia, go there. So there are two coordinators at any one time on the floor. For now, it is Hali and Osman. If there are any issues, agents can consult them. We do not want heckling. This is not a marketplace. There are computers. Since yesterday, agents were allowed to come with their computers for purposes of checking the Form A's copies they are given against their own downloaded forms from the web portal. All agents were allowed yesterday. It is not anything new, but they must be clear what computer they are coming with and for what purpose. Once again, no photos on the floor of this tally center. Whether you are an observer or whoever you are, no photos. We do not want to see our officers, their photos being paraded everywhere.
Gulie kuhusu shughuli hii nzima itakavyoendeshwa, na maagizo hayo yanatokana na hali ya mshike ambayo imeshuhudiwa hapo awali kati ya maajenti wa wagombea urais mbalimbali, kati ya wale ambao wamekuja kufuatilia shughuli hii nzima. Kumbuka katika kila upande kuna wale ambao ni wanasiasa, kuna wale ambao wana interest mbalimbali katika kinyang'anyiro hiki cha urais ambao wamefika hapa, na wakati ambapo kidogo hisia zilionekana kupanda, basi hata wale wanasiasa ambao wengine wametoka katika chaguzi mbalimbali, baadhi ambao wamepoteza, baadhi ambao wamepata katika vinyang'anyiro mbalimbali ambavyo walikuwa na shiriki, basi wakajimoya katika ukumbi huu, na hali ya kurushiana maneno ikajiri, hata nusra makonde yasukumwe hapa na pale, lakini maafisa wa usalama wakaingilia kati na hali ya utulivu ikarejelea. Wanasema tempers flaring kwa sababu ya shughuli hii nzima ambayo inaendeshwa hapa, lakini sasa utulivu umerejea na ukaguzi wa fomu unazidi, na matarajio ya wengi ni kwamba shughuli hii itaendeshwa kwa utaratibu unaofaa ili matokeo ya mwisho ya uchaguzi wa urais yaweze kutangazwa. Kumbuka Mengi ya haya mambo ambayo tunayashuhudia yakifanyika hapa yalitokana na yaliyojiri katika mahakama ya upeo, yani Supreme Court mwaka 2017, ambapo mawakili wa IEBC, mawakili wa mwenyekiti wa IEBC wakati huo pia na wakati huu Wafula Chebukati waliulizwa maswali mazito sana pale na majaji wa mahakama ya juu, yani Supreme Court, kuhusu swala nzima la integrity ama uwajibikaji wao wakati wa kutangaza matokeo haya. Maswali yakaulizwa, je, matokeo haya ambayo yametangazwa yalikaguliwa na yalikaguliwa na nani, kwa kutumia fomu zipi? Na ndio sababu katika taratibu hizi mpya ambazo IEBC imeweka katika uchaguzi huu ni kwamba mwenyekiti wa IEBC Wafula Chebukati hawezi kuyatangaza matokeo kutoka eneo bunge lolote kabla matokeo hayo hayajakaguliwa, na ukaguzi wenyewe ni lazima uwe kwanza wa fomu 34A ambazo zinanakili ama zilitumika kunakili matokeo katika vituo vyote vya kupigia kura, na fomu hizo pia zikawasilishwa katika mtandao wa IEBC, yani kwenye ile portal, ili yeyote ambaye ana haja ya kufanya shughuli ya kujumlisha, yani tallying, anaweza kufanya hivyo. Na fomu zenyewe, kumbuka, zilikuwa kwenye kijitabu, one booklet, ambayo ilikuwa na nakala 6, yani original copy na duplicate zingine 5 ambazo zilipigwa ama ziliandikwa kwa pamoja kwa kutumia zile wanaita carbonated booklets. Yani form 34A original ndio inayoletwa hapa katika ukumbi wa Bomas. Na vile vile kuna fomu ambazo fomu moja iliwachwa kwenye lile sanduku la kupigia kura ambalo lilikuwa na kura za urais, na wale wa ama maajenti wa wagombea urais wakapewa kila mtu nakala ya form 34A ili waweze pia kuzitumia na kusambaza kwenye tallying center zao ama maeneo ya kujumlisha kura ya wagombea urais mbalimbali. Na vile vile pia katika kila kituo cha kupigia kura, mlangoni mwa kila kituo cha kupigia kura paliwekwa copy ama nakala ya form 34A ili wananchi wote wanaweza kufika katika kituo cha kupigia kura chochote na kuweza kujionea na kujiamulia matokeo yalivyokuwa yametangazwa. Na fomu hizo original ambazo zimefika hapa form 34A kutoka kila eneo la kupigia kura, kwa mfano eneo bunge fulani kama lina maeneo ya kupigia kura 150 ama 200, basi yule msimamizi wa uchaguzi katika eneo hilo, yani returning officer, anafika hapa na fomu hizo zote form 34A 200 pamoja na form 34B ambayo ni jumla ya matokeo ambayo yametangazwa katika kila kituo cha kupigia kura. Na labda mtu anaweza kuuliza iwapo, je, kuna utata wowote kuhusu matokeo ambayo yalinakiliwa katika kituo cha kupigia kura na yale matokeo ambayo yamewasilisha kwenye mtandao, na vile vile yale matokeo ambayo labda maajenti mbalimbali wanasema wako nayo, ni matokeo yepi ambayo yatachukuliwa ama yatafuatiliwa? Sheria ya uchaguzi, ukiangalia kipengee 39 sehemu ya E, kinaeleza bayana jinsi utaratibu huo utakaofuatwa na jinsi shughuli hiyo nzima itakavyofanyika, na mwenyekiti wa IEBC atafanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba matokeo hayo yana shughulikiwa. Ukiangalia kipenge hicho katika sheria hii kinasema determination and declaration of results. Ukielekea sehemu ya E inasema kwa kimombo, where there is a discrepancy between the electronically transmitted and the physically delivered results, the commission shall verify the results, and the result, which is an accurate record of the results tallied, verified and declared at the respective polling station, shall prevail. Yani, ikiwa kuna utata wowote ambao umeibuka kutokana na yale matokeo ambayo yaliwasilishwa kwa njia ya kielektroniki na kuwekwa kwenye mitandao ama kwenye portal, na yale matokeo ambayo yamewasilishwa hapa kwa moja, yani ile nakala ya matokeo hayo, je, ni matokeo yepi ambayo ndio sahihi zaidi ama ndio sahihi ama ndio yatakayotumika kama yale ya mwisho? Matokeo yatakayotumika kama yale ya mwisho kutoka kila kituo cha kupigia kura ni yale ambayo yalitangazwa katika kituo hicho cha kupigia kura. Hivyo basi, kama kuna chochote ambacho kinaweza kuwa kimefanyika kati ya matokeo hayo kupeperushwa na msimamizi wa uchaguzi katika eneo bunge kufika hapa, basi yale matokeo ambayo yalitangazwa katika kila kituo cha kupigia kura, hayo ndio matokeo ya mwisho na ndio yatakayotumika katika shughuli nzima ya ujumlishaji wa matokeo haya. Hivyo basi shughuli ya utulivu imerejea katika ukumbi huu wa Bomas, na kinachosubiriwa sasa ni kuona iwapo kuna maeneo mengine mengi zaidi ambayo maafisa wa kusimamia uchaguzi katika maeneo hayo watakuwa wamefika hapa kuwasilisha stakabadhi zao kwa mwenyekiti wa IEBC, na baada ya matokeo hayo kukaguliwa, fomu zenyewe kukubalika, basi mwenyekiti wa IEBC ama komishna yeyote ambaye atakuwa ameagizwa kufanya shughuli hiyo na mwenyekiti wa IEBC atafika hapa katika ukumbi na kuyatangaza matokeo hayo. Kufikia sasa kati ya maeneo bunge 290 na ukiongeza lile eneo moja la wale ambao walipiga kura kutoka ugaibuni, kufikia sasa ni maeneo 15, maeneo bunge 15 ambayo tayari matokeo yake yameshawasilishwa hapa, yakakaguliwa, yakakubalika na yakatangazwa rasmi na mwenyekiti wa IEBC Wafula Chebukati. Hivyo basi turejee studio kidogo, na iwapo kuna lolote ambalo litakuwa linaibuka hapa katika ukumbi wa Bomas ama matokeo yote ambayo yatakuwa yanatangazwa, bila shaka tutayapeperusha moja kwa moja kwa watazamaji wetu, kwa wasikilizaji wetu katika runinga ya Citizen, katika runinga ya Inoro TV na vile vile katika runinga ya Ramogi TV na mitandao yetu katika Citizen Digital. Hivyo basi kaa papo hapo ulipo, shughuli nzima ya kukagua stakabadhi inaendelea ili kikomo chake iwe ni kubaini mbivu na mbichi kuhusu ni nani atakayekuwa rais wa 5 wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na kumrithi Rais Uhuru Kenyatta katika kinyang'anyiro hiki cha urais ambacho kiliandaliwa siku ya Jumanne, yani tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka huu wa 2022. Turejee studio.
Well, asante sana. Francis Gashuri there, speaking to us from the Bomas of Kenya. Na ni kweli tempers yana flare vile Gashuri alisema kule. He was summarizing the reason why this is happening. Professor Abdi Gulie, who's the commissioner for IEBC, was trying to cool down the temperatures there because they were saying all we could hear from him is calling the chief agents to come to a meeting of some sorts. Also in Nakuru, you can see now that is Susan Kihika. I don't believe the announcement has been made yet, but this is supposed to happen shortly. Let's cross over there and find out what the latest is from the Tallying Center there. Let's listen in for a bit. So any moment from now, I believe the announcement should be made in Nakuru. Those are live pictures where Susan Kihika of the United Democratic Alliance is there. She is going against the incumbent, Lee Kinyanjui. I don't think they've made any announcement yet. She's the current senator for Nakuru, and we'll be finding out whether there's an announcement coming through who has won that poll. We're looking for Miriam Nyambura to find out what the latest is from there. Earlier on at the IEBC Tallying Center, National Tallying Center in Bomas of Kenya, there was a bit of fracas there with the agents trying to ensure that the process is followed. So what is happening there is that there's a verification of the Form 34As that came from the ground polling stations to the National Tallying Center. They're supposed to counter-check the ones that have been uploaded online. And I want to show you some of the pictures from the IEBC as well as we wait for an announcement in Nakuru. IEBC, there seems to be a bit of calm temperatures there, but previously Professor Abdi Gulie, who's the commissioner for IEBC, was trying to call the chief agents for a meeting, and the observers as well, and returning officers, being very firm in saying that the returning officers should be respected at all points. And maybe Asaska, I'm sure you like this picture that you're seeing right now. The announcement has not been made yet, but in Homa Bay, it was made, and Gladys Wanga did win the seat for governor. Is this the turning point for the 2/3 gender rule? Asaska.
Thank you for that question, Trevor. When you look at Kenya, we have less than 20% Kenya's parliament. The previous parliament is made up of women. And the image on our screen here makes me very happy because as much as there's a lot of gender misrepresentation exists, We've put affirmative actions in place with our 2/3 gender rules, as well as with the 47 county women reps. And if you look at our neighboring countries, Rwanda has about 61% female representation. Our neighbor here, Tanzania, they have about 36%. Uganda has about 34%. I think with the numbers of women who have won elections this year, I think it's quite impressive, to say the least.
Okay.
For us to sustain and safeguard that particular momentum, probably if you look at the campaign trail and even the narrative that was being sold during the season of campaigns in the country, what would you say has worked for women this time round that probably we didn't get in the previous elections?
I think from where I sit, the Azimio coalition, having appointed Martha Karua as the running mate, must have changed things around a bit, must have made Kenyans look at things differently this time round.
But Franklin, what are your views on this? Because this is the one thing that we've been unable to achieve in Kenya. In fact, but there's those who are also claiming that it's not just the positions up there. It has to cascade to the lower positions as well. Because just a minority few of them can be at the top, but the majority are still oppressed on the lower cadre.
Several interventions are required, but before I come into the proposals on how we can go about this, it's obviously that if you look at the data that we have, there are two problems. One is that are there sufficient numbers of women who are offering themselves to contest? What is their shelf life in the contest? Because it's not an easy journey. What are the challenges that face women candidates? Number one is we're seeing an increasing number of women offering themselves for political office, and that is a good indication. We had about 5,000 women expressing interest in the various parties to be nominated. Unfortunately, out of the 16,000 plus candidates that ended up on the ballot, only 1,982 managed to go through the party primaries, same for a few independent candidates again. So you can see that there is an increasing number of women offering themselves for political office. The recruitment is happening good. The retention is also happening well. But we need an intervention at the party gatekeepers level, because over half of those women who offered themselves to contest failed at the party primaries, mostly because of the actions of the gatekeepers, the guys who finance the parties, the guys who make the decisions at night in those parties, and the guys who actually finance those campaigns. And majority of them are not women. We also need to recalibrate the woman candidate, that it is not sufficient to be elected because you are a woman. I think the last qualification we can attribute about Mother Karua as choice as a running mate, the last one would be a woman. Mother Karua has a very good track record in terms of leadership. Whatever she's done when she's in opposition, in government, in the civil society, in the judiciary as a magistrate, is a clear record. And I think women should sell their credentials more other than gender. And that must be quite clear, because when they sell gender mostly, what we are seeing is then a response of chauvinism, that we are highly patriarchal, and therefore challenges like control over utilization of and access to family resources to mount campaigns is not as easy for them. It's not as easy for the woman, but it's easy for the family. We have our most important asset is of course land, the natural resource, and women don't have access to this that really give quick value money for the campaigns. We need to deal with the cultural issues. We need to deal with the gatekeepers, but more significantly, I think we need the political goodwill at all levels. When I hear the discussion around two-thirds gender, and we're only focusing on political parties, when the judiciary is still not gender responsive, when other government agencies, including the outgoing cabinet of Uhuru Kenyatta, over the 10 years, never been gender responsive. Why are we just focusing on elected positions only when we have actually the executive and administrative decisions need to be made to make sure that there is that truth, because it's not just about political, but public office. So even as we discuss the political goodwill, we need administrative and executive decisions that place women in the right places. Then we need to focus on the constitution as well. We have a provision that we are struggling to actualize. Several attempts through Parliament have failed. Several attempts through the court, including ourselves, challenging those things in the judiciary, have failed. Our victory of 2017, when the court issued a directive that the next elections of 2022, the parties have the responsibility to submit lists that are gender responsive, that IEBC should not, accept such submissions from the parties for nominated candidates to contest on the ticket that are not meeting that threshold. At the very last minute, the same judiciary changed that. So political parties got away with it. So while we work on the political goodwill, while we do capacity building for more women and mentorship for them to come out in numbers, we need to deal with the incentives for the gatekeepers. We need to deal with the administrative and legal and constitutional frameworks that must be fine-tuned for us to achieve that. Otherwise, we'll just continue talking about the patriarchy challenges here and there, when in actual sense, Kenyans, again, I will end with data. I started with data. In the 2017 elections, 8.4 out of 10 women that arrived at the ballot were elected. So the voter does not have a problem with women candidates. It is the parties that are failing women. It is those in power and in authority to take the administrative and executive decisions that are failing women. Women are coming out in numbers. We are ready to build capacity. We are ready to network with them to the right political positions. But there must be something that has to be dealt with.
Well said, Mukwanja. Professor Naituli, it's one thing, like he says, it's one thing to come out and declare interest to vie for a political seat. It's another to be nominated for that, yet another to be elected for that. If you look at that journey and how women have fared in that particular journey, who do you think has failed women? What are the missed opportunities that you can cite in supporting women leadership in the country?
I think nobody has really found the women. I think women are naturally entering in leadership. And what is helping, especially in this election, is the fact that the election has been about issues, and the women are very good at articulating issues. The women in leadership always fares better than men when they have an opportunity to lead. The society structure, economic structure of society, you could say that's has found the women because it has been negative. In most of societies here, women don't even inherit the father's property because they're supposed to be married and get to grow some other community, so they don't inherit land and all that. So the cultural issues, they have been an impediment because they are denying the resources of which now they can move themselves into politics. But once women move into politics, they progress, because they don't engage in most of the things that men engage in. They're extremely constructive when they remain women, when they don't want to be men. They are very constructive. And that's why you can see is 8 out of 10, 8.5 were elected, because the voter, they can see the value of having a woman. I want to remember the Nuremberg scandal, which almost brought it down in this economy. The person who exposed that is a woman, Jacinta Mwatela from Taita. The men were very happy looting the country, but she wasn't, and she told us about it. So the voters, the Kenyans, can understand the value of women in leadership, but also the globe, the village. The world has become one village. They can see the good job, Jacinta, and then it has a name. The New Zealand Prime Minister doing, They can see what Angela Merkel did for Germans, and therefore the Kenyans can understand what could happen to us if we have a woman president. The transformative nature of how women work is way beyond the surface nature with which men apply themselves into job. Men usually are what is called transactional leaders. In other words, you go into leadership to seek self-gratification or to seek self-aggrandizement. The women go into leadership to transform society. And we are beginning to understand that because we can see the whole world what the women have done when they are at the top decision level, when they can make decisions at that level. We can see what they have done to other societies. So I think the Kenyan society is appreciating that. And I believe that not just this election, subsequent elections, we are going to see more and the more men. I just want to give you an example from Meru. I asked a voter who was very passionate about voting for Kawira Mwangasa, who was running on independence against the sitting governor, Kiraitu Murongi. And then this is what that voter told me. He's a man. He told me Kiraitu planted the trees in August, in dry season, from Meru to Nanyuki. Spent 100 million shillings when there was no medicine in hospitals and dispensaries. And then the man, he told me, there is no woman who will do that. You understand that? That is a deep analysis of why for that person, that vote was important to go to that woman. The level of trust when she has the job, that it will not be transactional, it will not be herself, but it will be transformational. So people, the society is getting out of the cultural gridlock and in beginning to understand the value of a woman when the woman has power. Because of the nature of women, even in nurturing. It is only men who cause problems if you try to stand it. The women cause very few problems. Even in this country, it is the men who has run it down, it's not women. People understand that.
Yeah.
And I think we are appreciating more women in leaders.
Okay.
And we are
It's coming from a man.
Yeah.
It was the other way around, then it would have been another issue altogether. We're talking about the woman's touch in terms of priorities. You know, if a woman is a leader, sort of like gives the woman's touch to the priorities. I know this is a conversation we should be picking up just to understand more about the trends and women who've been elected so far.
Absolutely. We're about to take a short break here on Kenya's Choice, but what you're seeing on your screen right now is Nakuru Senator Susan Kihika. Kihika vied for the seat of the United Democratic Alliance Party ticket, and incumbent Lee Kinyanjui is also defending his seat on the Jubilee Party ticket. So what we know so far is that the IEBC officials are the only ones allowed to declare who the winner is, despite all the numbers that you've seen. This is, at this particular point, it's Susan Kihika, the senator for Nakuru. She's vying for the governor's seat against the incumbent Lee Kinyanjui. In 2013, Kihika was elected Speaker of the Nakuru County Assembly, as a position she served for 5 years until 2017. She then vied for the country's senatorial seat in 2017, which she won with 637,700 votes. And now they are all fighting for the seat of the governor for Nakuru. The first governor for Nakuru was Kinuthia Mbugua. Then Lee Kinyanjui is the second one. He's defending his seat under the Jubilee Party ticket. Susan Kihika, the senator for Nakuru, is fighting to get that seat as well under the UDA ticket. Anytime from now, the announcements will be made officially there, which will declare who the governor for Nakuru will be. Remember, that is a prerogative of the IEBC officials.
All right.
Anything that you've seen out there.
That is from Nakuru County, right here in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, at the Bomas of Kenya. Also, we are following up for you what's happening. What we know is that a few minutes ago, there was a bit of chaotic scenes there, as the IEBC officials were trying to put everything to order as they continue with the process of verifying presidential and other results from the other elective positions. So far, what we know is that 15 constituencies, the results of 15 constituencies have been officially declared by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. This is out of the 291 constituencies, if you include the one constituency that is the diaspora vote. And of course, there's been order that has been restored there. According to Professor Gulie Yakub, he had said that 2 coordinators have been placed at the floor of the Tallying Center just to control whatever was happening earlier, being very categorical that no heckling will be tolerated, as just trying to make sure that the agents representing different candidates there collaborate with them in ensuring that this whole process goes on smoothly. So far, 8 tables have been set up to fast-track this process. A proposal was there to increase this number by 4 to have 12 tables so that IEBC can be able to complete this process in time, but that is yet to happen. So 8 tables so far for the IEBC officials to interact with the county returning officers as they receive the Form 34As and the Form 34Bs, the physical ones that then they collate with what they have obtained from their online portal.
Yeah, in Marsabit also there's been an announcement there. Mohamud M. Ali is the Marsabit governor elect right now. He's a former assistant minister for special programs, former member of parliament Moyale constituency, and the governor for Marsabit County. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be giving you the updates as they come. Anytime we cross over to different places in Kenya's choice, let you know what the people's verdict was. See you in a bit.
Hi everyone. It's not good news. We'll definitely be seeing difficult times ahead for the business. But with all that being said, honey.
Hi.
I really need to finish this meal. Okay, I'll have one.
Why does the lady have stars on her face?
I don't know, but you can't ask them.
First you twist it, and then you lick it, and then you dunk it, and then you eat it. Now get back to work.
Thank you, Mama.
Nice and Lovely imetunza ngozi yetu for over 25 years. Sasa inatujali with the best of her jelly na the best of her cream. Sawa.
Gundua jelly in cream ya kwanza duniani kutoka Nice and Lovely. Nyepesi kama cream na inalinda kama jelly. Nice and Lovely jelly in cream leaves no grease.
Jaribu the best of her jelly na the best of her cream.
Shilingi zaidi na zaidi. Sasa unapata ofa juu ya ofa ya kuwa 100% data bonus leo. Alafu piga star 544# au tembelea My Safaricom app kununua bundle na kupata target yako. Safaricom is for you.
Follow the 2022 general election live on Viusasa. Get instant results on the go and on any device. Whether it's go to Viusasa and tap Elections 2022 tab. Live results straight to your phone with Viusasa.
Nice and Lovely imetunza ngozi yetu for over 25 years. Sasa inatujali with the best of her jelly na the best of her cream. Sawa.
Gundua jelly in cream ya kwanza duniani kutoka Nice and Lovely. Nyepesi kama cream na inalinda kama jelly. Nice and Lovely jelly in cream leaves no grease.
Jaribu the best of her jelly na the best of her cream.
Kevin, it's hot as hell. And who's this sweaty guy getting all cozy? You must be invisible. Get up, now. Give him a wake-up call. Yes, that's right. Swivel those hips.
Bing bang bing, bing bing bang, bam bam bang, bing bang bing, bam bam.
Sasa, mimi ni Zuri kutoka Safaricom na niko hapa kukuchanua. Kaa macho. Safaricom upiga kutoka 0722 000 000 pekee. Ukipigiwa na namba nyingine, usipeane maelezo yako ya kibinafsi. Tuma namba ya mkora kwa 333 ili Safaricom ichukue hatua. Jichanue and take control.
This election, Citizen Digital has you covered. Catch all minute-by-minute updates right on your phone. Download the Citizen Digital app, click on the Elections 2022 tab, and choose the option you want to follow. Presidential, Governor, Senator, Women Rep, and MP. Keep up with the latest in numbers, figures, and updates, fresh from the ground to your phone. As Kenya makes its choice this 2022, sit back and keep it Citizen Digital.
Kenya's #1 app, Citizen Digital.
Dark chocolate is a good source of magnesium, which can help regulate serotonin and elevate your mood.
Soft Care Petal Care has a floating design that perfectly fits. It reduces 70% friction on skin, absorbs fully, and blocks leakages from both sides.
Soft Care, yeah.
Thank you for staying with Kenya's Choice right here on Citizen TV. We want to show you the various places where we're keeping an eye on. One of them is Nakuru, the other one is in the Bomas of Kenya. And just a quick update of what has been going on around. If you're just joining us now, we'll start off with the Bomas of Kenya. There's been a bit of a fracas there earlier on, just a little bit, but what we know so far that the calm has been restored. The agents, the chief agents, observers, and returning officers are currently continuing the verification process of the Form 34As and the Form 34Bs from the constituency levels. Earlier on, Professor Abdi Guli, was a commissioner for IEBC, tried to restore calm there when there was a bit of a fracas. And of course, we know right now they've already verified information from 15 constituencies. They have about 274 more to go. According to their portal, they've received 46,203 Form 34As out of the 46,229 that is expected. That means they only have about 26 more to go. In terms of the Form 34Bs, which is a total collation of figures from the constituencies, they have received 216 out of the required 291. So the tallying is ongoing there, and there's a screen in that area that are showing the numbers of what has happened so far. And just a few moments ago, there was a briefing from the assumption of the Office of the President Committee and the media briefing, just establishing their presence, saying that they've had a meeting. That team have specific functions. The most critical is to provide for procedure and ceremony for the assumption of the Office of the President-elect. And they had mentioned that they've already had a meeting so far, the first inaugural meeting, and they will definitely continue having those meetings and said that they will ensure there's a smooth transition. At the Kasarani Tallying Center, we're expecting figures?
Yeah, we're also expecting figures at the Kasarani Tallying Center there. We are staying there for you, also just hoping that there should be an announcement as well any minute from now. It is one of the 17 constituencies in Nairobi County. So far, results have been received for only 3 constituencies, expecting 14 more to come from that particular venue. So far, those who have been declared MP-elect include Peter Orero of Kibra constituency, who was vying under the ODM party ticket. From Langata constituency, Felix Odiwar, who was vying under the ODM party ticket, also was declared MP-elect. In Kasarani constituency, Ronald Karauri, who was vying as an independent candidate, was declared MP-elect. In Embakasi Central, Benjamin Gadhiru, who was vying under the UDA party ticket, was also declared as MP-elect. And the numbers keep coming in, even as we expect more announcements with regards to the woman representative seat, the senator's seat, and the gubernatorial race also results with regards to that. So we'll stay on that for you at the Kasarani Tallying Center right here in Kenya's capital, Nairobi.
Absolutely. Our guests are still with us here, Professor Gitile Naituli, governance expert, Franklin Mkwanja, CMD executive director, and Asaska Labarakwe, public policy expert. Asaska, before we got into let's get to the fracas of the Bomas of Kenya, first of all, where the IEBC was just a few moments ago. Does it shake your confidence when you see that, or does it come back and justify what you're saying, that it is a highly emotional game at this particular point? And what should they do now to restore the public confidence?
Yeah. Thank you, Trevor. What we've seen in our screens 45 minutes ago is not good for Kenyans, because we are on the edge, we're very anxious, and I'm glad that it took just a couple of minutes to have calm back at Bomas. And we should all understand that verification is a very, very complex process, and it's actually quite manual. It's quite physical, because once the CRO walks into Bomas with the Forms 34Bs, they literally have to go through all the tallings and make sure that they all match from what has been uploaded in the system. So I think there's no point of panicking right now. I think we need a lot of patience, because it's not an easy job, to be honest. And Trevor, to go back to your question earlier on, for these 2022 polls, you asked whether is it an issue-based or is it about character and integrity? And I'd like to jog our memories a little bit. If we go down history, almost 60 years post our independence, we've always seen that Kenya's elections are always shaped by old guard politicians, As much as we've made a lot of significant strides in our democratic space, we realize that most of the time what we get is it's just the same pool of politicians who give us promises, who recycle these promises after every 5 years. And for example, a good example will be, you'll see that both Raila and Ruto have been either together on one side or against one another over the last couple of years. And for us to be really objective and honest with each other as Kenyans, both Raila and Ruto represent continuity. It's just not Raila because it's supported by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. And it all boils down to political convenience and at what time. Yeah. And currently, we see that the political convenience is when His Excellency Uhuru supports Raila presidency, and Ruto with his Kenya Kwanza coalition going against the tide, as we've seen. And a good example, you'll see that Ruto campaigned against the 2010 constitution back then, but later campaigned against the BBI. And then on the other hand, we've seen Raila campaigning for the 2010 Kenya's constitution, as well as campaigning for the BBI. So it's all about political convenience.
Yeah.
Not really issue-based, if we're really honest with each other.
I see both of them respond.
Mkwanja, how do we as Kenyans prevent ourselves from being caught up in this politics of convenience? What should empower the electorate to this extent? Because I believe it's important.
I think Rome was not built in one day. Sometimes I think we punish ourselves. We have an exaggerated sense of issues, and we're growing there. We're getting there. If you look at the level of ethnicity in our politics, it's loosening. People want to entertain a conversation on social issues, and the beauty with social issues is that they affect everyone and anyone. You're talking about agriculture. You're talking about reproductive rights. You're talking about unemployment. You're talking about, social welfare issues. Elected representatives shape these social issues through the legislations that they make. And you can also not divorce social issues from economic issues. Taxation policy and all those things are affecting people, and people with devolution power and resources getting closer to the people. People are now closely interacting post-2010 with the leaders and realizing how much they mean in their lives. Quality of life and how the politician who's been elected affects that is becoming increasingly clear. I think what we need to do to improve our democratic standards and shift our democratic culture is to further invest in the quality of education. Yes, Kenyans are, to a good extent, literate, and they are not ignorant, but the capability to make critical civic decisions and engage in civic actions that make sure that the will of the people prevails and the needs of the people are addressed by the political class is a conversation that needs to continue. We need to invest further in alternative spaces for peace, for dialogue. Because if this society is so stratified that the elected leaders, once elected, they want to rush to the penthouse and leave the ordinary folks in the basement until they need to be re-elected, is something that political parties have failed, that it's from point A to B as a means. But political parties need to sustain conversation with the people so that they keep their heartbeat on the interests and the needs of the people. Because parties are about articulating and aggregating and representing the issues that people want. And that disconnect has to be built over time. That's why I was saying, are we suffering from a paralysis of analysis of our progress? Are we having a sense of exaggeration on our progress? Are we I think we're facing the right direction. And we need to encourage more young people who are crossbreeds, and they are not beholden to the ethnic backgrounds, and they only want their issues addressed. In regard to what is going on in Bomas right now, I think it's been quelled, but it's important to mention that Chebukati has 7 constitutional days to announce the elections. One of the critical grounds the 2017 elections were nullified was about the returns Forms 34. About 11,000 of them would not be accounted for, and ODM also claimed some forgeries, or NASA claimed some forgeries. And on that basis, the elections were nullified. And we have seen steps taken by IEBC to ensure that they are not just being accountable, but also being transparent. The portal is accessible, and Forms 34B have to be generated and have to be received by Chebukati. Chebukati has to process Form 34C and declare the results, and then offer the president-elect Form 34D, which is the certificate. And this takes time. We have seen the media putting in an effort. We have seen other. Why are not those guys who want to cause problems not telling us how their tallies are ongoing? I mean, this is important that we need to look at it. And the fact is, one of these 2 guys, and let me start with the bottom 2. I think Professor Wajakoya and David Mwaura deserve to treat us with some honor and concede and allow Kenyans to focus on the 2 and reduce those numbers of agents from the tallying hall so that there is sufficient space for scrutiny. For Raila Odinga and William Ruto, one will be a president, the other one will be a resident with privileges. So Kenyans must be vigilant and avoid any motivation or pressure to act in a wrong way. And I know for sure there is no single politician today in this country with the economic situation that we are in, with the challenges and with the level of awareness, the civic awareness of the people, and the desperation for peace. Yeah. There is no single politician with the capacity to mobilize violence.
Frankly, in all that thought, I believe there's an announcement of results happening right now in Garissa, right? So let's cross over there and listen in.
296. Abdi Yusuf Issa garnered 8,536. Adan Hussein Bade garnered 1,649. Haji Abdul Qadir Mohammed garnered 72,383. Mohammed Khalid Ali garnered 1,742. Shale Mohammed Isaac garnered 19,279. Shide Abubakar Mohammed garnered 900. Therefore, okay. Let me read again. Please, in the interest of time, let us be orderly. Yeah. These are the valid votes, the total valid votes in favor of each candidate. Abdi Ahmed Rashid Korio garnered 3,296. 3,296. Abdi Yusuf Issa garnered 8,536. 8,536. Aden Hussein Bare garnered 1,649. 1,649. Dabar Dawood Adan garnered 1,841. 1,841. Haji Abdul Qadir Mohammed garnered 72,383. 72,383. Muhammad Khalid Ali garnered 1,742. 1,742. Shale Muhammad Isaac garnered 19,279. 19,279. Shide Abu Bakr Muhammad garnered 900 votes. So those are the final results for Garissa. So I wish from the results that you can see, the winner for the election of senator is the Jubilee candidate. So I wish that he comes forward so that we hand him over the certificate. So, certificate of elected senator. I, the county returning officer, Abdul Wahid Hussein, hereby declare that Abdul Qadir Mohammed Haji of ID number 1283-4956 has been duly elected as the senator for Garissa County in the election held on the 9th day of August 2022, and is so declared on this 12th day of August 2022. Congratulations, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
So, unaweza kuongea na watu kidogo?
Oh, okay.
So we are finalizing the results for county woman member to the National Assembly. So meanwhile, the senator can actually say one or two things. Welcome, Mheshimiwa, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Asante.
Asante sana. Thank you very much, CRO Abdul Wahid. It's a great privilege and honor to be re-elected as the Senator of Garissa County. First and foremost, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the great favor, blessings that He has bestowed upon me during this time. I would also like to thank the IEBC team in Garissa for the hard work that they have done during this period of elections. They have shown us this time around that it is possible to have a free and fair election in Garissa. They have worked tirelessly. The whole team, from the CRO to all the ROs from the different constituencies, they have worked tirelessly and they have worked with dignity and integrity. And we thank them very much. And we would like IEBC to ensure that they have a high commendation for the officials that they've had in Garissa County. Last but not least, I would like to thank the people of Garissa for showing confidence in me and giving me an opportunity again to serve them as the Senator of Garissa County. Pengine nikasema mawili au matatu kwa Kiswahili. Kwanza nawashukuru watu wa Garissa kwa kunipatia nafasi hii kwa mara ya pili. Namshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala kwa kunionyesha njia ya sawa, kwa kunibariki na kuniletea rahma yake na kuniondolea kila la shari na kunijalia la kheri. Namshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa hayo yote. Nashukuru sana wafanyikazi wa IEBC wa Garissa County. Wametuonesha ya kwamba ni kweli tunaweza kuwa na uchaguzi huru na uchaguzi ya kisawasawa hapa Garissa County. Wafanyikazi wote wa IEBC ambayo walikuwa hapa Garissa walikuwa waaminifu na walikuwa wamefanya kazi yao vile inavyotakikana. Tunawashukuru sana na tunawahisi wakubwa wa IEBC commissioners wahakikishe wamewaona vizuri hawa wafanyikazi wa Garissa. Nataka pia kushukuru mrengo wa security wa Garissa. Safari hii wametuonesha wamefanya kazi sana. Wamefanya kazi usiku na mchana. Wamejitolea, wametuwekea amani na wamechunga kura zetu. Tunawashukuru sana pia viongozi wote wa security wa hapa Garissa County. Na mwisho yangu ni kutoa shukrani ya dhati kwa watu wote wa Garissa, wote wale ambao walinipigia kura na wale ambao hawakunipigia kura. Ninawashukuru kwa kujitokeza kupiga kura na nawashukuru pia kwa kunipatia nafasi hii kwa mara ya pili kuwa senator wa Garissa County. Yangu ni kusema ya kwamba nitafanya kazi yangu vile inavyotakikana. Nitahudumia wananchi wa Garissa wote bila ubaguzi wa ukikabila, rangi ama dini. Yangu ni kuomba kwa Mwenyezi Mungu anipe nguvu na anipe hekima na anionyeshe njia ya sawa ninapotimiza kazi yangu ya Garissa County. Kwa hayo machache, asanteni sana. Asanteni sana.
No, we're waiting for the woman rep. So mtongoja kidogo, nataka agent wanisaidie ya woman rep. Alafu ndio sasa we'll declare order huwa nipo. Tunamalizia na kabla.
Kaunti ya Garissa ambapo seneta wa kaunti hiyo Abdul Kadir Mohamed Haji ambaye alikuwa anatetea kiti chake kupitia chama cha Jubilee ameweza kukihifadhi. Kumbuka kwamba Abdul Haji aliweza kumrithi babake baada ya kifo chake mnamo Februari mwaka jana, na hapo akitoa hotuba yake baada ya kukabidhiwa cheti cha ushindi na afisa mkuu wa IEBC katika kaunti hiyo ya Garissa, akisema kwamba atahakikisha kwamba anatekeleza majukumu yake kwa manufaa ya wakazi wa eneo hilo. Na tunazidi tu kufuatilia jinsi mambo yanavyoendelea katika maeneo mbalimbali. Kuna ile shughuli inayoendelea kuhakiki zile fomu za 34A na 34B katika eneo la Bomas. Pia tunafuatilia matukio katika eneo la Kasarani ambapo kituo cha kujumlisha kura katika kaunti ya Nairobi, shughuli hiyo inaendelea huko. Na Ben Kirui unavyomuona hapo yuko katika kituo cha kujumlisha kura cha eneo bunge la Dagoretti North, anaungana nasi hivi sasa kutoka huko. Kirui, hujambo? Kutoka Narok sasa umerejea Nairobi. Je, kuna matangazo yote rasmi ambayo yametolewa kuhusiana na mshindi wa ubunge katika eneo bunge la Dagoretti North?
Naam, bila shaka Mashirima, sasa hivi tuko katika kituo cha kuhesabia kura cha Dagoretti North ambapo tayari uhesabu wa kura umekamilika na yule ambaye ametangazwa kuwa mbunge mteule ni Beatrice Elachi ambaye amezoa kura 52,515 akifuatiliwa kwa karibu sana na mwenzake ama ambaye alikuwa anakabiliana naye. Lakini niko hapa na mheshimiwa Beatrice Elachi ambaye nitampa tu fursa aweze kutupa hisia zake, kumeendaje ama anahisi vipi kuwa mbunge mteule wa eneo hili la Dagoretti North. Mheshimiwa, karibu Citizen TV, tuambie unahisi vipi hisia zako kuweza kutangazwa mbunge mteule wa eneo la Dagoretti North.
Kwanza niseme asante sana, nishukuru sana Mwenyezi Mungu, nishukuru sana wanadago, niseme ya kwamba kwa hao kunipatia kura 52,500 na ni kuonyesha ishara ya kwamba wana imani na mimi na wanatarajia pia mimi niweze kutimiza yale tumesema. Kwa hivyo yangu ni kuwaambia wana Dagoretti North ya kwamba mimi nitaomba Mungu anipe hekima na nisaidie niwe na wajibu ya kufanya ile kazi nimesema. Lakini pia niseme ya kwamba nashukuru kwa imani na amani ile tuko nayo. Naomba tuendelee hivyo. Hatujawahi piga msasa hapa tukamaliza bila vurugu na nini. Lakini mara ya kwanza tumemaliza na tumemaliza kwa heshima, tuko na amani, na hiyo ndio tunatarajia hata Kenya nzima. Na waomba sana tupende nchi yetu. Tumemaliza siasa, hakuna cha kupigana vifua. Nafikiri ya muhimu wa Kenya tu wangependa kuona sisi tukianza kufanya kazi, na natarajia ni hiyo ndio itatupeleka bunge. Hiyo ndio tunaenda kufanya, kwa maana tumeona, tumetembea Kenya, tumeona zile shida wa Kenya wako nayo, na tunaomba Mungu asimame mbele kwa hii nchi. Hii nchi ukiona tumeirudisha pale tulikuwa 207, ni Mungu ameishikilia sasa hivi. Tumeigawa hivyo tena, na si vizuri. Si vizuri. Naonyeshana kwamba lazima tukue na ile wakati wa kujiuliza siku gani tutakuwa tu wa Kenya na tupendane. Yaani kiongozi akisimama anasimama. Ndio tumekuja, hatukufanya sasa siasa za ukabila sana, lakini tunapomaliza kuipiga hiyo kura unaiona tu. Kwa hivyo tunaomba Mungu. Mimi ningeomba sana Mungu asimamie nchi sasa.
Naam, labda nikuulize yale mambo ambayo umepangia wakazi wa Dagoretti North. Haswa kuna mmoja ambaye aliniuliza nikuuliza swali hili. Pale Kawangware kuna dump sites ambazo ziko pale. Wanasema una mipango gani na baada ya siku ngapi tutarajie kwamba mambo yatanyooka?
Kwa sababu kuna hiyo dump site na kwa kweli inakera watu wengi. Na mimi nimesema sisi Nairobi tunataka gavana na yule wananchi wamechagua ndio tunaenda kufanya naye kazi. Huyu gavana hana saa ya kukaa kwa ofisi. Ile takataka iko Kawangware iko 46, sisi Kawangware si dumping site, tunaitaka iende sasa. Barabara inaharibika, hatuitaki tena. Zile siwa waliziwacha zikiwa zimetengenezwa na hazijaisha, tunataka waje wamalizie. Sisi haja yetu ni kufanya maendeleo kwa wana Kenya na haswa wana Dagoretti North. Wangependa kuona maendeleo, wangependa kuona sisi tukifanya kazi pamoja kwa kufanya kazi na national government na kufanya, maana hii ni Nairobi, na kufanya kazi pia na county. Yes.
Naam, asante sana Madam Beatrice Elachi, kila laheri unapoanza kazi. Naam, huyo ndiye mbunge mteule wa Dagoretti North, na hapo awali nilikuwa naendelea tu kuzisoma takwimu za ama jinsi wapiga kura eneo hili walifanya, lakini nilikuwa na tashwishi kidogo Mashirima, manake kuna wale ambao labda wameniona hewani wakapiga simu, lakini nitaweza tu kurejelea tena niseme kwamba Beatrice Elachi ndiyo mbunge mteule ambapo alijisolea kura 52,515 15, akifuatiliwa sana na Elijah Oenga ambaye alikuwa mgombea huru na kura 13,620. Amos Oyongo wa chama cha UDA akipata kura 11,654 na kura jumla ya kura ambazo ziliweza kupigwa katika eneo hili ni 82,870 kati ya jumla ya wapiga kura ambao walijiandikisha kupiga kura hapa, ambao ni 158,659, na niseme kwamba ni kiti ambacho kilikuwa kimevutia wagombea 14, Beatrice Elachi akiibuka mshindi, na vile vile wale wawakilishi wodi wameweza kutangazwa rasmi na kupewa vyeti vyao ili waanze kuhudumia wakazi wa zile wodi ambazo wanawakilisha, ikiwemo kwenye wodi ya Kaongware ni Frederick Njogu wa chama cha UDA, katika wodi ya Gatina Kevin Sakwa chama cha ODM, Kileleshwa ni Robert Alai wa chama cha ODM, na Kilimani akiibuka mshindi Moses Ogeto wa chama cha ODM, na wodi ya Kabiro akiibuka mshindi Clarence Munga wa chama cha ODM. Wote hao tayari wamekabidhiwa vyeti vyao vya ushindi na yule returning officer wa county wa Tallying Center ya constituency hii ya Dagoretti North. Niseme kwamba kile ambacho sasa kinasubiriwa ni watangaze washindi ama kutangaza tu matokeo ya viti vya ugavana, kiti cha useneta na vile vile kiti cha uwakilishi wadi. Baada ya hapa wataelekea kule Kasarani ambapo ni County Tallying Center. Mashirima.
Shukran sana Ben Kirui hapo akiwa anatupa matokeo ya eneo bunge la Dagoretti North, ambapo kama ulivyojionea Beatrice Elachi amezungumza baada ya kutangazwa mshindi katika eneo bunge hilo kupitia chama cha ODM. Tunazidi tu kufuatilia matukio kutoka maeneo mbalimbali. Inaenda kwa mwendo wa kinyonga, lakini tunangoja tu kwamba fomu za matokeo kutoka maeneo bunge mbalimbali itaweza kuendelea vizuri katika kaunti hiyo, katika kaunti hii ya Nairobi, katika ukumbi wa Kasarani Sports Complex. Na kwa upande huu mwingine tunaona kwamba hali ya utulivu imerejea katika eneo la Bomas, ambapo shughuli ya kuhakiki fomu 34A na 34B kutoka maeneo bunge mbalimbali inaendelea vizuri. Baada ya hali kutulizwa, hapo kulikuwa na mgogoro kidogo kati ya baadhi ya viongozi na maafisa wa IEBC, na tulimuona kamishna wa IEBC Abdi Gulie akisema kwamba hiyo sehemu inapaswa tu kuwa na wale watu ambao wanastahili kuwa hapo, akiwaita wale mawakala wakuu kutoka mirengo ya Azimio na Kenya Kwanza kufika pale juu kwenye jukwaa ili waweze kujadiliana na hali ya utulivu ikarejea. Wanahabari wetu nadhani ni Francis Gashuri yuko huko na atakuwa anatuletea maelezo zaidi kuhusiana na hadi kufikia sasa shughuli hiyo imefikia wapi katika eneo la Kasarani. Ni Gatete Njoroge ambaye anafuatilia matukio hayo na pia ataweza kutueleza ni nini haswa ambacho kinasababisha shughuli hiyo ya kupokea fomu kutoka maeneo bunge ya Nairobi. Kwa nini shughuli hiyo inakwenda kwa mwendo wa kinyonga? Tunapumzika kidogo, tutarejea hivi punde na mengi zaidi.
First you twist it, and then you lick it, and then you dunk it, and then you eat it.
packages. Go concentrate the impossible. Everything is doable. Yeah. So fit, so right. So fit, so right. So fit, so right. Soft care, so fit, so right.
Soft Care Petal Care has a floating design that perfectly fits. It reduces 70% friction on skin, absorbs fully, and blocks leakages from both sides.
Soft care, yeah.
Big leagues are back. Enjoy boosted odds on the English Premier League, the French Ligue 1, the German Bundesliga, La Liga, Italian Serie A, and many top leagues only on Shabiki.com. Kuwa Shabiki. Play now. Strictly not for persons under the age of 18. Betting can be addictive. Play responsibly. Shabiki.com is authorized and regulated by the BCLB. License number 416.
Simply following the care label of the items and the dosage instructions on the detergent packaging will give you the hygienic results you need.
Toffee Strong enzymatic particles remove stains easily. Microcapsule fragrance goes into fibers and give you lasting freshness for the whole day.
Colorful day, wonderful scent.
Dial *126# or download my Safaricom app and let's lift one another.
Enjoy View Travel affordable holiday packages. Kenya's #1 travel agent and online booking platform, View Travel offers wide variety of local flights, hotels, transfers, holidays, activities, and so much more. Whether traveling as a family, couples, chama, church groups, friends, or even going for trips to Mombasa, Diani, Malindi or Watamu, Masai Mara, Naivasha, Nakuru, or staycation in Nairobi. Call 0703-254-254. This is Kenya. Dream, explore, discover. Powered by Citizen TV.
Candace, what's that?
I brought you a small bonus.
Bonus for what?
You got us 299 family dinners, 64 kisses on the cheek, 12 road trips to see grandma, 42 jokes from daddy, 49 laughs from mommy.
In over 60 years of dealing with numbers, we've learned that the numbers that matter the most to you are the ones that matter the most to us. NCBA Bank. Go for it.
All right, thank you for staying with Kenya's Choice 2022 right here on Citizen TV. A lot is going on around you. The people's verdict is in, and let me show you some of them that are coming through. Marsabit County elected governor is Mohamud Ali under UDM. Let's try and show you as many of them as we can. Let's get to the next one, and so that you see. I almost said, and so you what to see. You see, this is the influence of Mashirima.
It is.
Mashirima.
It's finally happening. Anyway, we are taking you now to Nyamira County. The governor-elect there is Amos Kimwomi Nyaribo, who was vying under the UPA party ticket.
He's the incumbent as well right now. In Tana River County, elected governor is Dado Godana, also the incumbent under ODM. Goes over to the next one and show you what is going on around your county. Siaya governor is James Orengo, officially elected there. He's a former senator for that same place. Elected.
Tana River County, the elected governor there, Dado Godana, under the ODM party ticket. In Nyandarua County, Moses Ndirangu Badilisha, who was vying using the UDA party ticket, elected as governor in Siaya County again. There you have it, James Orengo, ODM party ticket, elected as the governor.
We'll give you an entire list of all the governors there, but we need to take a pulse of what's going on around you and show you pictures live coming from the Bomas of Kenya. Those are governors that we've already answered to you. Let's show you live pictures coming from different places as we wait for the Kasarani County Tallying Center to announce the results from Nairobi. And Elgeyo Marakwet, we have Wesley Rotich under UDA. Let's show you what else is coming through in terms of the people's verdict there. Bungoma County Governor-elect is Ken Lusaka from Ford, Kenya.
Vihiga County, we have Wilbur Otichilo, who has been elected as a governor. Migori County, there we have Ochilo Ayako, the governor-elect who was vying under the ODM party ticket. In another part of the country, Trans Nzoia County, George Natembeya, under the DAPK party ticket, the governor-elect. And in Uasin Gishu County, Jonathan B. elected as governor.
West Pokot County, now we have Simon Kapchaping under UDA. They have been elected as governor. In Nandi County, we have Stephen Sang, who's the incumbent under UDA as well, having been elected there and announced governor. In Homa Bay County, we have Gladys Wanga under ODM, trouncing Evans Kidero there, having been elected governor for Homa Bay. Kisumu elected governor is Anyang' Nyong'o, the incumbent governor as well, having been elected there. We're taking a pulse of everything that's going on around you. Let's take a look at what's happening in Bomas, in Kasarani as well, the county Tallying Center. There's quite a bit of fracas there. Out of the 17 constituencies in Kenya, there's not, in Nairobi that is. The announcements have only been made for 4 constituencies, and 13 of them are still not been done. In the Bomas of Kenya, the verification of forms 34As and 34Bs are happening right now. The agents are there, the observers are also there. What we know from the site of the IEBC right now is that they've received more than 46,203 Form 34As out of the 46,229. Now, Form 34Bs, which is the subsequent accumulation of the results from the Form 34A, they've received 219 out of 291. So there are 72 more to go. And they've also announced official results from 15 constituencies. So 275 of them to go. Let's talk about the matters of leadership and integrity. Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Our guests are still with us in studio, Professor Gitile Naituli, Franklin Mkwanje, and Asaska Labarakwe. And Franklin, I'll start with you on this. Why has this been an uphill task, so to speak, when it comes to leadership? Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Why has it been so hard to implement, especially when the voting process is coming through? Even right now as we speak, there's been a case at the courts trying to stop the swearing in of William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua should they win. They've also lodged a counter appeal on that to say that it's too early for that sort of petition to come through. Why has it been such a challenge to have the Chapter 6 on the leadership and integrity implemented from the voters' side and institutional sides as well?
Clearly, Kenyans have a very high tolerance for mediocrity and moral standing. If you ask what the reason is to elect people that don't have a track record or have questionable dealings, you realize that when the populace is presented with the opportunity, they choose to vote with their stomachs mostly and not their minds. And unless we address the opposite number of these leaders that have integrity issues, and that is the voter, to resist behavior like voter bribery, you will still have a field day of these characters getting access to power, because that is the bottom line. Even if they manage, and we have, of course, a challenge around the constitutional architecture, that you cannot pin down some of these characters, because the law says that they have to, the full appeal process exhaust the legal opportunities available until they are proven guilty. It happened in 2013 that the outgoing president and the UDA candidate were facing crimes against humanity in The Hague. But they were allowed to run because they had not exhausted the legal mechanisms available, and that then denies the voter the cushion of the law. And therefore, the voter has to be of high integrity themselves. I think I will ask Kenyans that if you want to establish what is Kenya's problem with integrity, please go stand in front of the mirror and see the problem in that mirror. It is down to that the individual decisions, when we are alone, are challenged. We are subscribing to voter bribery, very basic electoral malpractices, and we don't find that a problem. We are rewarding politicians that have bloods on their hand. We are rewarding politicians that have looted public coffers in previous positions, and the electing leaders that don't generally subscribe to, transactional politics. If you are not going to agree to be a social welfare dispenser, and you are a politician in the country, you have no opportunity to be re-elected. People don't want you to legislate. The people don't want you to oversight. The people don't want you to represent them properly. But they want you to be part of them. It's part of our culture that we want them to be in our funerals, we want them to be in our weddings, we want them to come for our baby showers, their birthdays, and therefore we're seeing that is good interface and we'll elect them. I always ask Trevor, what is Kenya's problem? Is it that it is wrong for a leader to be poor? That a leader must be a man or woman of means? That if you have means, then you are easily elected? Or is it, on the flip side, that it is disrespectful when an ordinary folk meets a leader and not ask them for something? All right? Because anytime you see Kenyans engaging with leaders is, how are you leaving us? It has nothing to do with the conversation about that bill you're putting on the floor of the county assembly. It has nothing to do with, we want you to vote this way. So is it that it is disrespectful not to demand for something from a leader when you meet them, especially elected ones? Or is it that a leader must be a man of means and generous and philanthropic enough? And that cultural issue must be dealt with before we begin having a conversation on integrity. But finally, we saw that social vetting can become a good tool. The question of academic credentials was properly prosecuted in the public spaces, especially online. And I'm sure, for instance, my good friend, with a lot of respect, Governor Sakaja, still has a lot of explaining to do. I will not be surprised if he faces legal hurdles soon he's sworn in. And I dare say that he may have a very difficult term. Completing it will be very lucky for him if he does, because of the pressure. So this, Trevor, goes down to the people. It has nothing to do with the law. Culture is more stable than the law anywhere.
Perhaps another way of asking your question, Mukwanja, and this I'll direct to you, Asaska, would be, have the leaders failed the electorate enough for the electorate to resort to, how can you solve my immediate problem? Let me not wait for the bills, let me not wait for the promises you gave me in your manifesto, let me just look for what you can give me now. Is it unga? Is it sugar? That is, who should carry the biggest responsibility in this equation?
Thank you. I like the way Franklin has put it very well. And I think for now, it's what is really ailing Kenyans. I think, but we have our votes to make a change in this country. And Kenya really needs change, to be honest. And as Franklin put it, today we say, oh, Ruto is the new bad guy in town, Oh, in 2007, we said, oh, Raila Odinga is the bogeyman of Kenyan elections back then. And it just boils down to know, who will I believe will put my issues first in the first place? I mean, it's still, our politics is still very much tribal driven. It's Mtuwangu syndrome. If I have Arendile running in Marsabit, he or she definitely expects me to vote for him or her. Without looking at what they bring on the table and who is best for Marsabit County, for that matter, or for my constituency. So yes, we have a long ways to go as Kenyans, and I wish we really, as we claim that this election is about issues, I know deep down it's not. Look at Raila. For many, many decades, he's been the establishment's nightmare for many, many years. But this year, he has now become the Raila Odinga of the establishment agenda. We're really, as he said, with integrity, it starts from me, from my house, with my kids, with my family. And as much as our constitution dictates all this, no one is clean, to be honest. We all somehow tinted in one way or another. But the best way to look at it is, who can really deliver the promises? Who can we trust more? And it depends with who you talk to and what lenses they put on.
Yeah. And Prof, how can we ensure that Chapter 6 is implemented to the letter, starting from the voter themselves and also the leaders who stand for elections?
I think my friend here said the law is not the problem. The problem is the law.
So the law is not the problem, the problem is the law.
The problem is actually the law.
Okay.
You see, what happened at drafting of this constitution, some clever fellows.
Prof, hold on 1 second. I'll come back to you.
I said the law is not sufficient.
There seems to be the results being announced in Kirinyaga, then we come back. Let's cross over there and listen in.
Very good.
Joseph Kathurin Dathi, Silvanus Kombandao, Purity Wangui Ngirishi, and Anne Mombi Waigoro. I will now proceed to announce votes cast in favor of each candidate. For Peter Getao, it was 10,166. Peter Ireri, 2,132. Bidan Kagai, 1,751. Joseph Kathurin Dathi, 3,837. Silvanus Kombandao, 532. Purity Wangui Ngirishi, 105,677. And Anne Mombi Waigoro, 113,088. From the foregoing, I thus declare that Anne Mombi Waigoro is the governor-elect of Kirinyaga County. Returning officer, hereby declare that you, Anne Mombi Waigoro of passports DK 2553, you have been duly elected as the county governor for Kirinyaga County in the elections held on 9th August 2022. Congratulations. Now, because we have our leaders, our county leaders, I wish to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Morango, Honorable Morango, to briefly address the county. And we shall make it brief. Okay, thank you.
Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe tena. Okay, I have already given a copy of the written address, the media release. Kwa hivyo I'll just talk briefly. Hiyo mambo ingine uko nje, si ndio? Ya kwanza niseme ya kwamba hii safari imekuwa ndefu. Kwa hivyo nafaa kwanza kushukuru Mungu. Kumekuwa na mateso mingi. Lakini wakikuu sema
All right, just moments there after Anne Waiguru was declared the duly elected governor. She's the incumbent, warding off competition from Wangui Ngirishi there and clinching a seat.
Yeah, indeed.
People are saying it's a very close
It was
contest.
it was described as a neck-to-neck competition between the incumbent Governor Anne Waiguru and who was vying under the UDA party ticket, was facing stiff competition from Wangui Ngirishi, who was seeking to unseat her on an independent ticket. Close race there. 130.